Welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Colleen Witt, and today we have world famous DJ Carisma in the building from Power 106.
Hey.
She quickly rose to celebrity DJ status and was named 3 times Female DJ of the Year. In addition to her DJ skills, she has released hit records with Chris Brown, Tory Lanez, Dej Loaf, just to name a few. What do you have us cooking today, DJ Carisma?
Well, I come from Southern California, Santana to be exact, in a Mexican household, and we always have tortillas on hand. So I'm going to show you how to whip up 3 cool little dishes with the tortillas today.
Yeah, and what are your ingredients?
We got one of them is just going to be straight up tortillas and butter. Then we got, if you're really lucky, you got some cheese at the house. We're going to do that, and then we're going to whip up a little dessert with the sugar and the cinnamon.
Wow, okay. So if you're really, really down on your luck, you have your tortillas and butter. I'm excited to see how tortillas and butters turn out. So go ahead, let's get started. And I just want to know, when was the last time you ate this?
I mean, probably just the other night, I taught my daughter how to make it. This is something real simple that, a kid can make. So, if you're 9, 10, home alone, and your parents are at work type of deal, that's really where I started, making this dish right here.
And this dish, I don't really know the difference between flour and corn tortillas. I hate to be that person. I'm from New York, y'all. But I noticed the price point. I shop for the show, so I look at the prices, and I think I paid $5, and it was like a million flour tortillas in that bag.
Big pack.
So that could last you quite a while.
Definitely. I feel like growing up, that was one thing we really always had in the fridge was the tortilla. So that's, why this is definitely my dish.
All right.
Because my mama always had those on deck.
So let's try the flour and butter tortillas first.
All right, so the flour and butter is, like I said, if you really, that's all you got. You get home from school, mom and dad aren't there. You need to whip something up. You go in the fridge, and there's nothing there. So you got tortillas. Want me to go ahead and...
Go for it.
All right.
Feed us. I'm starving.
So the first one's real simple. You just get a flour tortilla, put it on.
You don't even need butter on the pan?
We're going to put the butter on right now. I know. It's an electric skillet. Usually I would have done this with the flame skillet. It's a lot easier to toss your tortilla on there.
Okay.
But if you got an electric skillet, we're going to do it this way.
Oh, you mean you would put the tortilla on directly on the flame?
Directly on the flame. Heat the tortilla up first.
Okay.
Both sides, heat it up, and then put your butter on. Roll it into a roll, and that's it.
Okay. I want to see it.
That's it. So we're going to try it with this electric skillet.
Would that be considered like a butter taquito?
What the difference? Oh, it's okay. It's hot enough.
Okay,
we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're good. See how it's bubbling up?
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, you can use corn. There were times I used corn tortillas, but the preference was always flour for me and my sister growing up.
Is it the taste or?
Yeah, it tasted better.
Okay.
It just tasted better.
Okay.
I feel like corn tortillas are better for other street tacos and good stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is heating up quick.
And that took 2 seconds.
2 seconds because we.
And I like the little bit of crispiness on it.
That's what you need, the crispiness. That's why I like the flame definitely. So, but this is good.
This is good. See. Now you're gonna be an electric lover.
Get it heated up, and like we said, this is definitely a broke meal. So when you're a kid, your taste buds are a little different.
Now, when you were a kid, did you know this was a broke meal, or did you just?
This was bomb to me. I couldn't wait to get home and just make one of these when I was little,
Oh, okay. What was going on? What's your home environment when all this is going on?
Definitely, I was the older sibling, so, I took care of my little sister, and me and her would go. And once my mom started working when I was 3, 4 years old, she never stopped working, and neither did my dad. So they were always at work, and we were always alone a lot of times. So this is what we would come home and what we would do.
And how old were you when you were making these?
9. That's why I said this is real simple that your kid can make when they're by themselves.
Yeah.
My
but
mom
you were
showed
throwing it on flames.
But she showed us, you know what I mean? She showed us how. My daughter is 10, and I got her doing it already too. So it's definitely doable.
Okay.
For
So
10-year-old.
she's like, Mom, there's nothing to eat. You'd be like, throw that tortilla on there.
This one is
right.
Put it over here.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
See, and basically, if you want, all you got to do is slap a little butter in there for yourself.
Okay. Let me get a.
And then roll it into a roll.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much butter you like.
I was slathering it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Melts
it's
right
melting.
on.
It's melting. So all this is going on. You're cooking at home. When do you desire to become DJ Carisma?
Well, I grew up in the golden era of music. Like, I feel like I grew up in the golden era of radio in the 90s. Like, I was a little kid at that era. And that's when radio was at its finest, you know. So I always had my radio. I was always making, stealing my mom's cassettes.
Oh, yes.
Putting tissue in the top so I can record over whatever she had on there.
Oh,
remember how you used to do that?
I didn't know you could stick tissue in the top.
You had to put tape or tissue on the top to block a cassette so you could re-record over it.
Oh, no.
I would pop it in there and make my own mixtapes.
Yeah,
you know
I remember recording off the radio, but I didn't do that part. That was like next level ingenuity right there.
Yeah, because, you know, I didn't have no money to go get the blanks.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would just take my mom's tapes.
And what would she say, like, if she
she would be really mad depending on what it was, so I was careful of what cassette I chose. Kids don't be burning your parents' stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I would do that, and so that's how I really got it.
I slathered it on the whole thing.
That's how you do it, yeah, and then just go ahead and roll it on up.
I roll it like a taquito?
Roll it like a taquito.
I feel like by the end of the season, I am going to be fully prepared to handle tortillas.
See, I would always give it that little fold there so it don't drip all over me.
I did it. I did it.
No worries.
Oh, that's smart. That's brilliant.
There you go, and there you go. You got your little butter taquito.
Okay,
when you're hungry, you get home from school, just a little snack.
Oh, wow.
It'll work, right?
Yeah.
When you're hungry.
It fills the stomach for sure. Now, have you found other stuff, like random stuff in your fridge, you just throw it in there? Or?
So, it got good if you had, like, some leftover salsa from Grandpa. My grandpa used to make homemade salsa, green salsa. If you got lucky, you had some sour cream maybe. You would just dip it in whatever your flavor of dip is, you know?
Ironically, I wish I had this growing up.
It works.
It totally works. And
it's how we get down in a Mexican household.
You didn't even have to put salt or pepper on it.
Mm-mm. The butter does it.
Now, did you have real butter or margarine? Do you know?
Whatever Mama had. I don't know.
You just slathered it. Because you don't need salt and pepper at all.
Mm-mm.
This is delicious. And it took 2 seconds to make.
2 seconds. Easy for your kids to make. All right, let's do it this way now. Let's see. Because normally I would have a fire. If you got real lucky, you put a little cheese in it and you got your good old classic quesadilla.
Now, your passion for music is going on all while you're young. You're burning tapes. Where does it take the next pivotal turn before you become DJ Carisma?
Well, I mean, in high school, I used to program all the when the varsity basketball team would run out, I used to sit back there and control the speaker and handle all that kind of stuff. So that's how I knew I was really interested in it. You know,
you like volunteered to do that.
Yeah, well, I was on the basketball team. I played ball, so I was always really like, man, we need music. We need some pop while we run out. You know, so I really got into that, and the coach let me do it. He showed me the speaker, and I taught myself how to use it. It was this massive PA. And then from there, I just kind of learned, and there wasn't too many DJs at my school. So...
Oh, this time you put butter on it, huh?
Yeah, this time I put butter because we're doing quesadilla style.
Ooh, okay. All right, so you start to peep that there's no DJs.
There's not a lot of DJs, but I hear them on the radio and I see them. So I start, you know, this was the MTV era, you know, BET, The Basement. I was so in love with hip-hop, the culture of hip-hop and R&B. Like, I was just in love with it. So I just wanted to do more, and I was like, man, there's DJs. And growing up, there was only one female DJ I knew, and that was Spinderella.
Okay. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Wasn't she from like Salt and Pepper or something?
Yeah, but she was, you know, she was an artist DJ. As far as like real club DJs and radio DJs, I didn't know any. Let's see.
So did you like desire to fill that void?
Yeah, I desired to fill that void because it was all boys. And then growing up too, like it was that same thing, that competition. All the boys that did have the turntables didn't want to let me try it or do any of that, so I went and I saved up all my money, mowed lawns, washed cars, saved up all my bread and bought my first crate of records, my first turntable, and just started teaching myself, you know.
How'd you know to do that, to go out and mow lawns and wash cars? Like,
I was just born a hustler.
Did you approach your mom like, Mom, I want these equipment? She says no, and then you go out and hustle, or you just said, nah, Mom and Dad's at work, I need these turntables.
Yeah, mom and dad's at work. Like, I learned early on, don't ask them for nothing because they were going to say no. They were going to say no. Even when it came to, like, high school and the things that you typically get in high school, like the prom and the in the Letterman jackets and all that stuff, I had to get it myself, so...
So becoming an entrepreneur was like second nature.
Yeah, it was like you had to do it. You know, my mom and dad worked, so they showed me they worked. So I had to do the same. Can we turn this down?
Yeah.
This thing. These electric skillets ain't no joke,
I turned it
people.
all the way up on her. So naturally and instinctually, you just went to, okay, I'm going to hustle up my own stuff. So you door knock, I'm assuming?
Yeah, all my neighbors knew me and stuff, so I just got to hustling. Started working at 15 years old, sold shoes. I worked at the Athlete's Foot. I worked there for 8 years straight, became the manager. I was a hustler.
Okay.
Saved up my bread, and every night and every weekend I would do any house party I could do. Like, I DJ'd on washers and dryers, upside down trash cans before.
Wow.
Like, anything to get the job done.
Did it matter how much you were getting paid, or did you do it because you loved it?
No, I did it in the beginning. I just did it.
Okay.
Did it, and the money eventually came. You know, with the years of, once it became a professional thing, the money started coming in. So,
when would you have said, like, when did you? I guess how long did it take for you to go from doing it for free to actually like making money?
The money came kind of quick because you know, weddings and house parties, those are long events, and like they gotta pay you something. So it came once I started like actually getting good and I knew the music. It came within a year or two. Now, a little bit of money, little bit.
Did you have to? Were you always able to do hip hop music, or did you have to do whatever?
Oh no, it took a long time for me to get to where I wanted to, and that's in the world of hip hop. Like I had to learn because I came from Southern California, where the Hispanic population is massive. It dominates. So I had to know how to play all the Spanish music, all the 70s funk, old school. That's like where I started. I couldn't wait till I could be able to do a full party and play hip hop.
Oh, okay.
Like that was my goal, you know what I mean? I really had to.
When did you actually accomplish it? Like what was that? Do you remember your first time actually being able to like play hip hop?
I mean, certain like parties, just depending on who booked me, but it got really good when I finally broke into LA and got on the street team and did my first club. Like once I got into the club world, I was able to start, okay, this is it right here. And this is when I knew, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I had 3 day jobs. I worked at...
That's how I am right now.
I worked at Chicago Title in the daytime. I worked at Home Depot at night, and then I worked at Coca-Cola in the graveyard. You know, and then on the weekends I would DJ.
Were you working to like pay bills and pursue your dreams, or were you like, why were you working so much?
Yeah, I lived on my own since I was 17. I moved out at 17, you know, and I was just a hustler and just had to pay bills. I didn't like to ask my parents for nothing. I wanted to always take care of them because they worked so hard their whole lives. They still work to this day. You know, I'm still trying to make it so they don't got to work no more. But yeah, just hustling, and then I knew it was real when I got hired at the street team at Power 106, and that's when I officially quit my day jobs, and I just took the plunge.
But the street team doesn't really pay that much.
Nothing. So yeah, so I went right back to eating this.
Okay.
Right back to eating this kind of stuff when I started doing when I made myself full time.
And you were willing to actually take a pay cut.
Yeah, because I just really was so passionate about it. I don't know where the passion came from, but the passion came.
Didn't you have to give up some of your lifestyle to do that?
Well, I was never a flashy person, thank God. So.
Okay. So were you like living with roommates? Because that's a big pay cut, I would assume.
Yeah, I had roommates. Definitely had roommates throughout the years and all that good stuff, you know.
Did you have to explain?
And
to your parents?
I'm a hustler. Like and plus you learn on street teams, you learn how to like talk to people and trade.
Oh, okay.
I'm a great trader.
Good
like
to
I
know.
can barter some shit.
Okay, that's how I am.
Like I can just I'll get you these, you give me those. I did a lot of that coming up. A lot of that.
I like that. Yeah, I know people that started on the street team level from DJing to go into street team level. It's a lot of work.
You think this will work?
Okay,
we're gonna try this because electric skillet. I'm gonna try it. No, I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared of this electric skillet.
By the way,
this is the dessert right now. So this is just a simple quesadilla. You know, if you're really on a good day, you got cheese in the fridge. Like that's such a good thing. So you get your cheese and you sprinkle it on some butter, and you just roll it up same way, fold it, however you want to do it. This thing was really hot, so I didn't want to roll it. So we folded it, and that's the second meal you can make. And like the same thing, if you got some chili, guacamole, anything, dip it in to make it not so dry, and you know, it'll work for you. And kids' taste buds are really simple, so this kind of stuff always, you know how kids are.
I'm a grown-up, and I think this is awesome.
Now I have to have guacamole and salsa. I can't
Really?
just
You
eat
can't
it
eat it
plain.
plain?
No, I can't. I need that spice.
Well, guys, just for you listeners, I
need
ate the
that
whole
spice.
tortilla rolled in butter like it was nothing.
Simple. This is so simple.
And it was delicious, and she didn't eat salt and pepper. She also just made the cheese quesadilla, so now you guys are probably thinking I'm fat at home, but I'm really not that big.
The dessert should be easy. This should be simple.
Yeah, this is perfect. Shredded cheese and tortilla. This is quesadilla.
You know, working 3 jobs, I ain't got no time. Come home real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to eat these meals throughout, you know. Never went to fancy restaurants, always,
So I assume you never ate a TV dinner.
They're gross. I think
Yeah.
TV dinners are pretty gross.
Yeah, I used to live on TV dinners.
Really?
Don't threaten me with
that's
them,
like
Marie
that. No.
calendars. Mm-mm.
You know what? My mom always had Hot Pockets.
Oh, yeah, I
Is
love
that a
those.
TV dinner?
Kinda.
Kinda.
Did you eat those a lot?
I ate some Hot Pockets, yeah. I definitely remember Hot Pockets.
These are faster than Hot Pockets.
Okay, so this is the dessert. This is like the easy part.
Okay. Since
Go
I'm
ahead,
eating
put-
everything.
Put a little butter on there and then sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of sugar. And it's like a hood churro. If you ain't got the deep fried churros, if you're a kid, you don't know how to do all that. This is
I've been
a little
slathering a lot of
homemade
butter.
churro.
All right.
Can sprinkle a little sugar, a little cinnamon, and then roll that thing up.
Okay, cinnamon and sugar. Now I've had a quesadilla. I've never had a butter tortilla roll. And I've never had the cinnamon, and I hope I'm not jacking this up.
There you go. That's just like that.
Okay, cinnamon.
A little bit of sugar.
Butter, cinnamon, and then
Use that spoon. There you go.
here we go. Here we go. Let's see if it, I'm probably messing this up, guys.
Just there you go. Okay, that's enough.
That's, you don't think I did too much? All right. and then-
Fold the end so it don't drip, because you know little kids
Okay.
be running around.
like that.
And fold your end and then roll it.
And then roll it. Now
got
let's
a-
see.
Homemade version of a churro.
Let's see if it's really tastes like a churro.
No, it tastes like a. It tastes like a tortilla with butter and cinnamon and sugar.
Tastes like a tortilla with butter, cinnamon, and sugar. But if you like the flavor of the cinnamon and sugar, I guess, dude, I just realized just now that a churro is cinnamon and sugar. Yeah, but it still has a tortilla. It doesn't have this is good though. Honestly, this is great.
For think your kids would like that?
I wonder if a dude ever tried this on a date with a girl. Like, I got an appetizer, I got the meal, and I have the dessert. I got you.
I got you right now, girl.
That's basically what you just did.
Yeah. You know, depending on if you like cinnamon, sugar. I feel like there would always be a gigantic bottle of cinnamon just for months, right? Or it'd be in there for years. So you could always count on having cinnamon or sugar or something random.
I love that this meal is affordable, and no matter what age you are, you can make it. It'll fill you up.
See?
It takes 2 seconds to make.
Yeah, you just fold it, roll it.
What should we name this?
Then you can run off to practice or whatever you needed to do.
What should we name this tortilla with the cinnamon and sugar? What do we call it?
See, I like it.
It's good. I'm gonna eat all
I
this
haven't
whole
had
plate.
that in years. That's pretty good right there.
Have you shown your daughter how to make this?
I've shown her how to make all this, yes.
What are you gonna name this for the cookbook? For the cookbook.
Carisma cinnamon tortilla sticks.
Yeah, we gotta work on it. we gotta work
We're
on
gonna
it.
come up. We need your help. We need some help.
So we could turn off the stove because you
Oh, yeah.
basically cooked our appetizer, meal, and dessert.
We actually did it on an electric stove. I was worried. We did it. So shout out to if you got an electric stove, it's possible.
It is possible, and now I know that if I have tortillas in my house, I'll never starve to death.
Boom.
I'm literally gonna start having tortillas in my house now.
They're cheap. They're good. They
And
last long.
They're super easy to look. She has her whole dish right
There
there.
it is right there. We got the dessert. We got the main course. We got the appetizer. You know what I mean? Easy peasy. Easy.
So come over here and sit with me. So you go from working 3 day jobs in corporate America to saying, I want to quit these jobs and pursue being a street, what do you call it? A street ambassador, I would say.
Working on the street team.
Working on the street team for Power 106.
Yep, $8 an hour.
$8
Minimum
an hour.
wage.
So, like,
Because I had no kids, you know what I mean? I was like, I knew what I was capable of if I put my mind to it. So I was like, let me just do it. And that voice just spoke to me, and I did it. Followed that voice.
Did you feel like there was potentially going to be like a rainbow at the end of the journey or something, or did you just like doing it? Like, had you tried it at least and did part-time and then you did the transition?
Like, I just already, I was doing it for a couple weeks and I knew, because it was hard going from Santa Ana all the way to Burbank, California.
Wow.
To the media city where all the radio stations in LA are and all that good stuff. So I was like, I can't do this. I have to quit my day jobs and come out here and just go for it.
Wow. And so you're on the street team. You're working crazy hours, I'd assume. And what is Power 106? Are they noticing that you have these other skill sets at this point?
Yeah, definitely. And the crazy thing is, like, remember 92.3 The Beat?
Yeah, I remember.
And I, like, applied to both of them for years. And for both of them, I got rejection letters that I saved to this day. Wow. So it took me years before I finally got hired.
And you were just applying for street team level. And what do you think that was? Do you think it was because, I hate to say,
I mean, back then, this was
a woman?
I'm a woman. I'm not your, what the men in the industry like type of woman. Real, you don't see me in a leotard or nothing. Like, I'm more of a tomboy, you know. So I definitely wasn't anything they were used to.
But did they actually interview you before they rejected you, or did they see your resume come in and then reject you?
Resumes. I did get an interview one time at 92.3. I'll never forget that. And, I didn't get the job after that. But it was just,
Why
kept trying.
Why can't you forget that?
Because I actually went in there, and I'll never forget the question the guy asked me. He's like, what would you do right now if you saw D'Angelo and, like, Maxwell in the hallway? And I go, it was like, a trick question. And I wouldn't do anything. I'll
just nod.
I'll just say, because that's what they want. Yeah. They don't want people that are groupies. You got to learn to act professional. So that was the one question that stood out to me. Yeah. Oh, and he asked me, what color is your brain? And I was like, what color is your brain?
I think it's pink. I don't know.
I immediately said blue.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like my thought process and my aura is blue. Like, I don't know what it is. Wow. I'm like water. And he's like, I love that answer. And he's like, that's the type of answer I'm looking for when I ask that question. He's like, when people tell me pink, they think more like logical, and I'm looking for more creatives.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting that he asked that. I'll never forget that question.
But he didn't give you the job?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Still didn't get the job, though.
Oh, my gosh.
But he liked my answers.
So how did you not say at that point, like, okay, maybe this isn't for me, and you just keep applying? I
thank God for giving me this blinding, like, bubbly passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the beginning, because if I didn't have that, I would have never made it this far.
Yeah.
Never, because this industry will eat you up.
Why do you say that?
Because it's brutal, especially for a woman, a brown-skinned woman. Like, it's tough. It's really tough. So I'm just glad that he gave me those blinders where I had complete tunnel vision.
You, like, knew, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do.
And it was also a competitive thing, like, I'm going to really show y'all. Like, you think I can't do it? Like, okay, I'm going to show all of y'all.
So you're on the street team. You're doing this for how long? Years?
Street team for like 3-4 years, and then I was killing it. Like, I was more popular than a lot of the on-air guys.
Because they have you call in, right?
No, we didn't even do that at this time anymore. They cut that out.
Oh, wow.
By this time in radio was already changing, and this was when the internet really came, and you started having the birth of Spotify and all these other platforms, so radio started changing.
So how did you end up developing that following from street team to
being outside? I was everywhere. Any high school, any college. Like, you never saw me sleep. I'd do events from night to day. It didn't matter what kind of event. I really hustled. And that's how I really knew what the kids wanted.
Yeah.
And I always was tapped in with what the next level of kids wanted. Yeah. And it just happened to be the jerking movement. And the Heisty movement.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I went to Westminster High School. We had a basketball game with Power 106 versus the school for fun, for charity.
Yeah.
And I was like, please, I begged my boss, please let the new boys perform.
Yeah.
Like, please, just give them one chance. I swear to God, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right. So he let the new boys come out, do You're a Jerk.
Yeah.
The entire stadium, like 800 kids swarmed the gymnasium floor and started jerking. And he just looks at me like, and I was like, I told you, I've been telling y'all gotta, like, listen.
Yeah.
And then that's how I actually became an on-air DJ. That very moment, he let me be on air.
Wow. And it's funny because this has come up before in, like, another interview people underestimate the power, I think, of the high school and the middle school demographic.
The kids are the truth.
They literally, like, if you want to know if something sucks or is real, and they're searching. They're literally searching. They're like, I dare you to try and sell me something because I'm going to question the hell out of it. Right?
I was that kid.
Yeah, I was like,
I got the brand new unreleased Tupac mixtape volume 1. You ain't got it? Like, that was me. So I've always kept that mentality, and I know that 100%. The kids set the trends.
So
period.
You decide to approach your boss and say, take a chance on the New Boys. Why were you so passionate about it? Was it that you really wanted to give the kids a great event, or did you really want to, like, show the radio station that they weren't really paying attention to something?
I was very passionate about the culture of hip hop. You know what I mean? And that was a time, I don't know if you remember this, but R&B changed. It went from R&B to pop.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then hip hop did the same thing. It went from hip hop to pop. And I'm like, this is not hip hop.
Do you blame?
This is not hip hop.
I have to ask you this then. I feel like 50 Cent played a major role in hip hop transitioning to pop.
I think it was a bunch of things. It started with Pac and Biggie getting murdered.
Yeah.
And then the South taking over, and then it just like was event after event after event.
Yeah.
And it changed a lot.
Do you feel like hip hop is more pop now? 100%?
We are pop music.
Yeah, yeah.
I think because pop it means popular.
Yeah.
And hip hop is the #1 genre in the country for like the past 3 years now.
Yeah.
3-4 years. So officially, hip hop is pop because we are the most popular music. And that took people fighting for it and sticking up for it because it did change. The sound became EDM and up tempo.
Yeah.
So that's why like people like me in the West Coast and Drewski and DJ Self in the East Coast and Drama in the South, we kept it all alive. I really feel the DJs don't get enough credit because they don't understand what we were fighting with at the radio stations. Like fighting against the bosses because they wanted let's just be safe and play the Bruno Mars.
Okay.
And I would listen, we're not going to be open to the YGs. Who's YG? No.
So it would be you guys pushing back.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know that.
Back. It's a lot of pushback and back and forth.
Why do you think that they...
But we're the unsung heroes. We don't get the credit ever. DJs do not get the credit for what they do, especially radio DJs.
Now, so there's street DJs and there's radio DJs. You have a background in both.
Both. That was my goal, too. I wanted to be able to do all of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because there's different kinds of DJs. There's DJs that are real technical.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to have battles.
Yeah. I remember
you don't
those.
see that too much anymore.
No.
You know, then you have people who are just in the industry. Then you have people who are tapped in with the streets only. And I want to have it all. I want to be tapped into the clubs, the youth, the radio, everything. Like, I want to be tapped in.
So the other night, I was out with iHeartRadio. Shout out to y'all, because they do.
I used to work at iHeart. Yeah. Hey, shout out to iHeart.
They had Paris Hilton DJ a set. So I was like, yo, I'm curious. Like, I was genuinely, like, hopeful. Like, for some strange reason, I was really hopeful for her.
You know, she's been DJing for years, too.
I love
years.
Yeah. Years as in, like, not as long as you, but maybe, like, what, the last 5 years, 10 years?
She was DJing for years. Because I remember a girl like me couldn't get booked. Those were the only type of women that would get booked. In Vegas, to this day, it's still like that. Well, like, I still can't get booked in Las Vegas. Like, they only book, I don't even know if they're really DJing. I think someone made it for them, and they're just pushing play.
Yeah. I've actually had tours, and there were some DJs that...
You've seen it?
They weren't really DJing. But now, Paris Hilton did her set. If I had to rate it on, like, a 1 to 10, I probably would have rated it at, like, a 2. And I don't know if it's because I'm such a hip-hop head or, like, I was just so hopeful for her. And then, like, her, you know, I feel like the first track you drop is, like, it's going to make or break you. You know what I'm saying? And I think she went for, like, maybe an EDM or something. But I was hopeful, man. I was, you know what I'm saying?
Most female DJs are EDM DJs. That's why I say I don't have too many. I really didn't have no one to look up to outside of Spinderella.
Have you heard Paris Hilton set?
I've seen clips of them, so I already know what it is. You know, I get it.
Do you rate it? What would you rate it, though?
I mean, that's EDM. I'm not.
Okay,
you know
so it's not fair to rate it because it's EDM. So I'm technically not qualified.
Try, if you're a DJ out there and you've never mixed EDM, try it. It's easy as can be. Just sync, boom.
Okay.
It all rolls together. There's no lyrics, really. It's real simple.
So
hip hop's a little more challenging. Reggae in Spanish is way more challenging, if you ask me. But
so you become a radio DJ after the New Boys event. By the way, shout out to the New Boys. I love them. That was actually, they're one of the first people that I had, like, what do you call it when you smoke weed and your car fills up?
Hotbox.
Hotbox. I
You
want to
like
say
Benjay?
Benjay
Benjay
hotboxed me. Shout out to Benjay.
Benjay, love you, boy.
Benjay, yeah, he hotboxed me. I think I was like sad about a breakup, and he was like, you know, he was signed to Nick Cannon, and they were all doing that whole thing.
Incredible.
And he was like, oh, you know, just come to the back, and I get in the car, and what? I mean, your eyes was burning. It was impossible not to get high. I think that was the first real time I got high.
And then this would have been perfect.
This would have been perfect. After that moment. And I think I had another incident with them where I don't even remember, but it involved weed. Yeah, but they were great. I was kind of sad to see the breakup of them. Yeah. I was like, work it out. Work it out, boys. Work it out.
A lot of these groups, it's sad.
They couldn't work it out. It was pride, you know. So you become this huge radio DJ, but was it a smooth transition? Like, what was that transition like?
Oh, it happened fast. Once they let me in the doors and put me on, it was fast because all of a sudden I started coming out the, all right, here's New Boys, meet YG, meet Mustard and Ty Dolla $ign, here you go. And they were the next ones, boom. And then it was Teach Me How to Dougie, Cat Daddy. Yeah. Then I also was in the Bay, here's the Heartbreak Gang, I Am Sue, Sage the Gemini. All these cats, one after another, one after another, one after another.
Now, did you know these artists or?
Or
were you just you were
hit them up on MySpace back in the day, Facebook.
Shout out to MySpace.
Yeah, and just reached out. I was never scared to reach out. I was really hungry and passionate, and I just did it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had tunnel vision. I was really blind to what people were saying or anything. I just did it.
Yeah, that's how I got DJ Carisma. I emailed her. I called some close acquaintances, and then eventually I landed in the DMs.
We here.
And because she wasn't initially really responding to the DMs, just so y'all know, I had a insider friend do a group DM, and I was like, oh, this is gonna do it, and it worked. So don't give up.
Forgive me on my DMs, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, my DM is broken into 3 categories.
Oh, I know. There's one where it goes into a secret category.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
why
about.
do they put these? The other day I went in there and Trina was in there. I'm like, what? She sent me a message 3 years ago. I'm like, what is this? So I apologize, but I'm going to get better at it.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that, because I did notice I'll miss DMs, and it goes into that third little bucket.
That third bucket.
I don't know if you have to follow them to get it to not go into the
I do
bucket.
follow some of them, so I'm trying to figure it out. Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's tough, but hey, you know what? We finally got DJ Carisma, and it made my day. I was like, yes, I got her, and then I was DMing her. You got the email? You gonna be there? You gonna confirm? But
being a radio DJ is tough, and eating while broke is something you're gonna have to do if you want to get into the radio game.
Yeah. So you go from street to mainstream. People are now listening to your advice. There's no combative. There's no, I don't know.
There's tons of competitiveness, but it's always just keep it going.
Okay.
The competitiveness never stopped. It still goes on to this day.
Okay. So in addition to the radio, you're doing side gigs. You're blowing up. I'm sure your fee is going up.
Nah, the fee stayed the same. It's harder. I'm really trying to fight for equal pay for women, especially in the radio industry. It's mind-blowing, the difference. It's like 1/4 of what the men's make.
How is that possible?
Just what it is.
Now,
that's why I personally quit both radio stations and walked away from radio, because it was just mind-blowing to me how big of a gap there was in the pay difference, but my name was just as massive and way bigger than most of them.
And the other guy DJs were like, yo, this is what I'm getting paid, and you definitely deserve more.
No, it was just me. No one ever told me. It was just me figuring things out. Yeah. Because I had a couple office spots here and there where I was able to, damn, they're making this much? They're making what?
Wow.
All right. I need at least 1/5 of that or something, because I was making a fraction of what they make.
Wow.
So that's why I left Power 106 and went to iHeart. And iHeart was a tad bit better, but once I figured out the inside workings, I was blown away. I'm still only making 1/4 of what these men are making. You know what I mean? And so that's why I ended up walking away from iHeart, and then just started getting into programming for all these tech companies, because there's so many options now. A DJ, we could go to Spotify and program these massive playlists, and it's kind of the same thing.
So you'd work for Spotify? Well, you don't work for Spotify, but I guess you get a contract and then you program a playlist?
Yeah, you program multiple. They're like stations, playlists.
But that's how you're basically supplementing the income that you're really supposed to be making to begin with.
Yeah.
How is this still possible in 2021 though?
We're
in 2022.
I ended up coming
Fuck
back
that.
to I ended up coming back to radio just because I'm so passionate about it because of Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Yeah.
"Really, you're the only DJ I can have.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want to do radio.
I was
again."
so excited when I heard it. I was like, Nick Cannon Mornings with DJ Carisma. I was what? DJ Carisma's on the radio again?
You know, unfortunately, COVID hit and it was just a rough.
Yeah, of course.
It was a
There
rough
was nothing going on.
So, but the pay is still a battle. It's still a battle to get what these men get, you know. And I'm fighting so the next little girls don't have to have as hard of a battle as I did. I've officially accepted that I'm that person.
Yeah.
Because there was no female DJ like me before me.
Do you think
nobody,
if you
you know?
threaten them, you think they would be willing to lose you? Because didn't that happen with, like, I want to say Big Boy years ago? Like, where, what radio station was he
He
with?
did leave.
He left, and they could pay him the whole time, and they didn't. And then they tried to come back around and offer him the money, and it was too late. And then they tried to sue him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yep. I remember all that. So Big Boy did that, you know. And I tried to follow his footsteps, and I did the exact same thing.
And they were like, okay, we'll challenge it?
No, that Power was like, well.
And then you went to iHeart.
No, they just try to convince me to stay, you know, like
oh, maybe in a couple years?
You don't understand how hard it is once you leave. Like, people will stop calling you. It's a lot of mind games. It's a lot of threats.
What did you think when they're saying that?
All right, I'm going to show you. So I quit, and I ended up going to iHeart, and things got a little bit better, but still, they're sharks. They're like a McDonald's.
Yeah.
They're a corporation.
Yeah.
And they got all these stations all over the country, and they run them all, so. And then once I got in there, I saw, okay, they're a little bit, they treated me better to get me, to steal me away from Power, but they're not taking care of me nowhere near the way I should be taken care of.
Now, I think that's a tough battle as a woman because women's biggest downfall is we struggle with our net worth. Or not our net worth, our worth.
Our worth.
Our worth is ultimately, I say, the biggest dilemma women face. It's not men, it's not love, it is literally self-worth. So you have to live in a world where you're undervalued, right?
Period. Off top.
And you have to know your worth.
Know your worth.
And then you got to stand by it, which is the most difficult step.
Know when to press and when not to press too hard, because like Nicki Minaj said it best, like if Jay-Z goes into a meeting, this needs to get done, he's a boss. She goes into a meeting and starts breaking it down, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
And that's like definitely what it is for us.
Yeah.
So it's really finding that balance of how to cater to these guys' egos that are your bosses.
Yeah.
But holding your ground. You know,
I
really
think that's
hold your
tough.
ground.
Like, I'm honestly like,
but it takes
I'm mad.
It takes
I'm
people
mad.
to pave the way, and like I said, I've accepted that I'm the one.
But that's a
pave
lot.
the way.
That's
Because
a
now
lot.
look at how many female DJs there are.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I've never seen this many female DJs in hip hop. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like, and they're successful on all different levels, and I never seen that when I was coming up. So, like, let's go.
I think that's
some change has been made.
Change has been made. Thanks to you and your contributions. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the Jamaican me is hella pissed off because I feel like, what the fuck? Like, you know, we had the Me Too era. Like, we've survived so much. I feel like women is like the, you know, between the black lives or black racism and women, I don't know who has it worse, to be honest.
It's just different. And we all got it. We all got it worse.
Yeah,
We're
we all
all
got
set
it.
behind that invisible white line. Because literally, even when I left iHeart, there was a white man that got the exact same position as me and got paid double what I was making. You know what I mean? For the
Isn't there like a law that protects people from that, or no?
No, but we got to keep pushing. And
Is
keep
there a
working.
union?
You might be right. But I'm a DJ. We don't even have insurance. You know what I mean? This is like a...
Wow.
Self-independent. You guys are independent, correct?
Wow,
Like, you guys know what it's like. We don't get health insurance.
how you're...
We don't get none of that. We got to figure this out. And I feel like things are changing. I've heard of companies that are being created. So eventually, like I said, I feel eventually there will be more.
I think you're dispelling so many myths because when you hear someone on the radio and you see someone like DJ Carisma, you're like, oh my God, DJ Charisma, huge following, big
Parties
DJ.
with Chris Brown every night.
Yeah, like... Literally,
Like,
like, the stuff that you're saying here, like, I would never even imagine that you, DJ Carisma, goes through this.
And gets $8 an hour at Power 106.
Yeah.
Never made more than $48 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like...
It's rough.
That's crazy. That's a crazy journey. So how long have you been in DJing now?
It's almost 16 years.
16 years.
Since I started, yeah.
So if you decide, like, say, like, F this, like, I'm, like, what is your bar, like, where you're like, F this, and then you go 100% independent? Like, what does that scope look like?
I mean, that's what I did when I quit radio and I went in. There's so many options nowadays. We're in a great time and era. Technology is booming. There are so many platforms now, and these tech companies will pay triple what a traditional radio station is paying. Jesus. So I feel like there's just so much more opportunity.
And do they reach out to you, or do you reach out to them?
Both.
I like it. I like your hustle. Yeah. And to think that you came from butter and flour tortillas, quesadillas,
wearing nothing but $30 Vans,
and a gangsta churro. Can we call it the gangsta churro?
Gangsta churro, whatever you want to call it.
The Carisma's gangsta churro. I don't know.
We're gonna figure it out. We need your help.
We need your help. I love that you came through and you dispelled probably every thought that I honestly had no idea what the life of a DJ was.
If you want to be a DJ, you better get used to
eating while broke.
You know what I'm saying? And if you are one of the lucky ones that you finally pass that bar, I passed that bar, then it'll all pay off. Look at Khaled. Like, he broke huge walls. He's the first of his kind in so many ways.
Yeah, but he was like name dropping his name on these. Like, I don't know how he was able to.
He did a lot. He was a curator. He was the brain that said, let's put you in together. Ooh, you would sound good on this. A&R work, and a lot of DJs, we don't get our A&R credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Do you guys stick together?
Who?
The DJs?
Yeah, I feel the DJs do.
Okay.
A lot of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the most part, I get a lot of love from a lot of the males. Especially outside of the West Coast.
So I'm going to ask another controversial question. I hate to keep bringing her up, but now I'm curious. So you walk into the room, Paris Hilton walks in the room. Now, she's an heiress. She doesn't even need the money. I'm going to say, looking from outside, she's obviously going to make more just because she's white, right?
Of course. Off top.
We can say that, right?
And she's famous. She's Paris Hilton, so.
But you're also famous.
I get it. She's getting big, massive checks that hip-hop DJs do not get. And that's another thing, like, I'm also pushing for, is to hip-hop DJs, we need the same respect as these international DJs.
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing, like a DJ snaking them, they're getting $100K a set.
Yeah.
A hip-hop DJ, you're fucking lucky if you get 1,000 or more.
1,000?
Yes.
What?
Yes,
I would think 15K.
Lucky. You're lucky. And
those DJs in Vegas, who's that big DJ in Vegas? There was a big DJ in Vegas. What's his name?
Who?
Why are you telling me?
Who's a big hip hop?
No,
DJ
not a hip hop. It wasn't. I didn't say a hip hop.
They're all EDM DJs, all of them.
So why don't you, for lack of a better word, sell out?
I'm passionate about hip hop.
Okay, so because you're passionate about hip hop, you're not gonna sell out.
I'm not gonna sell out. Nah, I'm passionate. I'm gonna change things.
So if someone's like DJ
Carisma,
why
you
just
should
gotta play
y'all
EDM
get paid
set? I'll
more?
pay you $100,000.
I've been told that. I have been told that to my face plenty of times. Like when the first time I was having an audition for Beats by Dre headphones, and it was me versus one of my coworkers, a man. He's like, Carisma, you're gonna get nowhere in this industry. He's like, first of all, it's like the way you dress. He's like, you're a tomboy. And then he goes, and then he's like, all you do is vouch for the hood. You vouch for the streets. And he's like, it's gonna get you nowhere. He's like, you're gonna learn. He's like, you're gonna see. He's like, you need to be doing EDM sets, and you need to be doing pop and international sets. That's the only way.
How do you even cope with
that? And I just remember
that?
looking at him like, man, fuck you. Like, you know, like, nah. I love hip-hop. Fuck that. You guys will culture vulture it because you catch these EDM DJs using hip-hop pieces constantly. You know what I mean? So, nah.
But how do you cope with that mentally, though? Like, that would be difficult.
It challenged me. Like, I always look at everything as a challenge, and I always feel like everyone was challenging me. All right, cool. And then I ended up getting that gig that day, and he didn't, by the way.
Hey!
So
okay.
I ended up being featured in Best Buy's Christmas catalog. You know, and it was just, that was the start. So and that confirmed my thoughts too. Like, man, see, I got this gig over you right here, so I'm gonna keep doing what I do.
I look at the world and I see social media, and I feel like everything that's negative or sexual, like, does really well. Then you have like our podcast, Eating While Broke. You know, it's like all, for lack of a better word, we're more on the positive achievement, positive stories. But, you know, we're in a world where you're constantly based, like, maybe we should do something controversial. Like, why are we going to stay loyal? Now, of course, this is my baby, so I'm going to stay loyal to it. But it's hard to wake up every day going, you're competing against a girl in a bikini. You're competing against sexual stuff or negative stuff.
You just got to put them tunnel vision glasses on and go, because that's exactly what I was against. And I did it, you know what I mean?
I love it, and I respect you for it.
For all you little girls out there that are just like me, we could do it.
Yeah, I respect you, and like you inspire me. Straight up.
Let's
go. So, Carisma, where can we catch you? Where can we find you? How can people book you if they wanted to?
I mean, just shoot your shot. You gotta, unfortunately, try a DM or, ask somebody. Like, I do my best to answer. You can catch me if you're out in the Southern California area. I'm on the radio all the time. I'm also on Sirius XM. I got a show every Saturday night called Live from the West Side. And that's national, so no matter where you're at in the country, you could tune into that.
Wow, I like that.
I got more music coming. I got a brand new song with Lil' Kim on the way. Yeah, we shot the video and everything, so it's got Lil' Kim, Coyle Ray, Lady London. It's like a ladies' night.
Yeah,
It's so special to me because it's something I've been wanting to do for years.
When does it drop?
I'm waiting on the clearances, so any day now, like we're just waiting on those clearances to go through. That's coming. It's called She Ball. You can actually hear it in the Nick Cannon movie.
Yeah.
It's in the Nick Cannon movie. It's the theme song of the movie, so it does play a little bit. You can hear it. Waiting for that to come out. Just trying to be a game changer. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on. I got my own cannabis line now. Got my own strain, my Carisma strain.
So where can people
get that? Smoke some Carisma and then eat while broke. You can
Shout out to Ben J. You heard that? She got her own strain.
If you're out here in California, you can get it at all the cookies. Shout out to my brother Berner. Thank you for letting me be in all the cookie stores. I'm at all the Steezy stores. I'm at a lot of stores out here.
Wow.
But if you catch me, you can get it. You know what I mean? Look for me, and I'm always in the clubs. I'm always somewhere DJing. Follow my Instagram at DJ Carisma.
Follow Instagram.
Always outside. Come say what's up. I don't bite.
She definitely doesn't bite, and I think the DMs work fine for me, but definitely follow her, check her out anywhere you access your podcast, right?
Huh?
For your national syndicated Sirius show?
What's it called?
Yeah, what's it? What?
It's called Life on the West Side?
Life on the West Side.
It's a mix show. It's not a podcast. It's just
a
good
mix
music.
Show. Oh,
If you want to tune in for 2 hours and hear some hot new shit, like every Saturday night on Hip Hop Nation Sirius XM.
Hip Hop Nation Sirius XM. You heard it here.
Just follow me on DJ Drake. Follow me on Instagram.
Follow her on Instagram where you can keep up with all her updates.
Got all the links.
Okay, perfect. All right, y'all. Peace.